Hello people, welcome to this video. We will see here how to create a logo with Adobe Photoshop CC in a very short time. Please leave feedbacks to correct any mistake in pronunciation. First of all, while making a logo, you must have in mind an idea. For example, its name, its style and the font of the text. We will see here how to create this simple logo to start up. When you will be more expert, you will be able to create other logos, more complex or in 3D. Mind that usually logos are in white backgrounds and are made as simple as possible. The simpler is the logo, the easier can be remembered, and this is important to be known by people. Very important is to know how to use the pen tool. If you have problems at using it, watch the related video in this show. Be careful because the pen tool is a little different than the one in Illustrator. When you draw with the pen tool, you don't draw a new object, but you modify objects called vector masks. The vector masks are objects created by Photoshop itself, so they aren't images imported or backgrounds. The vector masks are layers on their own and can be edited fully with the pen tool. If you create a shape on a selected vector mask, the parts inside such shape are cut. Knowing this, we can start making our logo. For example, we want to make a stylized fire tornado. In this video, we'll see a rough of this logo. To make a good one, a longer time is needed to make it at its best. Download the project in video description to get a sample of this logo better designed. The easiest way to proceed is to create the basic shape first. Then we use the pen tool to stylize it. Then we can make it better and cooler, and we can add some text later. The pen tool works on vector masks, so create a rectangle with a white filling. Since the vector mask is cut with the pen tool, what is revealed is right what is below the shape of the pen tool. For example, if we want the basic shape in red color, the object or the layer below our vector mask must be red. Let's make it. Now select the rectangle and draw with the pen tool. This is our basic shape. Now let's suppose to add strips on it to make it cooler. If we draw strips on the basic shape, we won't cut the layer below. In fact, the layer is not a vector mask, so the pen tool won't have any effect on it. So, if we want to draw some black strips on it, we need to create a new rectangle that is just below the white rectangle used. Use a different filling to recognize it. Then we can draw the strips. Then change the colors of the layer below to black and turn to white the rectangle just added before. If you did all correct, you should see just the black strips. However, if we want a fire tornado, we can't use just a black color for the strips. We need to add a gradient to them that has the colors of the fire. We can't use the black layer since it's too much big and the gradient will be smoothed, not controllable very well. So simply add a new rectangle that has the same size of our basic logo. Adjust the order of the layers so that the new rectangle will colorize just the strips. Then go to such layer in the Layers window to Blending Options to add a gradient. Reduce the rectangle size to control your gradient better. We can add further options to make this logo much better and close to 3D. Go to Blending Options, picking the object that hides anything but the strips. You recognize it through the pen tool paths that will show up in your workspace after the selection. If you add some shadow and contour, the logo improves a lot. In the end, if some edges are too sharp, you can use the Blur tool in the Tools panel. The software will ask you to rasterize the shape first, which means converting the vector mask into a normal object, and this one can't be editing with the pen tool any longer. You may need some practice and time to improve the logo in this way. Don't be scared if it won't come up good at the first time. Even more, we can add reflection at the bottom. This can be done pretty fast. With the Rectangle Marquee tool, select the whole basic logo and go to Edit and then to Copy Merge it. Then paste it. Use then the Transform tool to reverse the orientation of the copy. It's enough to use the Flip Vertical. Then add some feather. We can make it using another white rectangle with a gradient that goes from transparent to white. Remember to rasterize it first, or you won't see any transparency. Check if the final logo is okay. You need to check it when it is small, since logos usually aren't as big as your entire screen. This is great since defects will fuse together and plus imperfections are compensated. Last stage is to add text. Its font and style do depend on how you create your logo. At this phase you need to think about it and try until you are satisfied. Use blending options again to add easily nice effects on text too. Just make sure that the effects won't compromise the text. The words must be read also if very small. You may want to export and save the logo at this point. You can simply open a new .psd project aside and use the edit copy merge it to copy all your logo and paste it then to the new project. Then it's enough to crop the workspace if you need. This is way easier and faster than changing layer colors or adding new rectangles to add white around your logo. Make sure to save your logo also as .psd too to come back editing it whenever you need so. Very well, this is all. Download our project in the video description if you are interested in this logo. Check this show for other useful tutorials with Photoshop CC. Thanks for watching.